So this is an example where we've got a triangular surface, which we don't really want because it comes down to a 0 length edge, which is definitely not correct. If we look at the shading there, you can see it gradually disappears, this feature. So it's washing out to nothing. And in reality, once we put fillets over the top of this, then this corner is no longer really a problem anyway. But if we wanted to build a block model like this, then what we need to do is get rid of that triangular point there. So we can do that by using detach. So if we go into detach here and just create an isopalm down here somewhere. So we've now got those two surfaces. So rather than this surface here, we want to get rid of that. So I'm going to delete that. So we're now left with a triangular hole there. And if we want to fill that, then we need to do something like putting in a square or a rail surface in there. So let's try rail. Let's just duplicate that edge and that edge as curves. And then we'll go into the left view there and we'll trim that curve back here. So we've just got those two curves. Now when we come to do the rail, we actually want to pick up a generation curve, but we want the surface rather than the curve because we need to make sure it's aligned. So we're going to pick that curve there. I'm going to put on G2 curvature, and obviously that is roughly in the right place, but of course it's not exactly on that edge there. Let's have a look at that in the side view. Now I had parallel on, so strictly speaking that should be giving me parallel edges. Obviously that wasn't quite vertical there, so we now need to align at this end. So let's go into object edit, and then I'm going to align. I'm just going to do it in position. So we want to align that partial to this edge. Doesn't matter which one we pick, like so. So we should find that if we go and evaluate this, G0 we expect on that lower edge, yes, and then on this right hand one we should still have G2 because I've only modified this end here. So that's pretty much defined where that is. The other thing we want to know is how far away from this edge is this new surface. So let's go into locators, pick curve to surface, deviation there, and it says it's 0.024. So if you needed that any closer, we're going to have to increase the degree slightly. So let's make that degree 4, and then we can just move CVs around. It'll need lots of mouse sensitivity on here to get down to that sort of tolerance, but we can move these points. We can't move these ones because that's controlled by the curvature at this end. So depending on how accurate you want to do that, you can move these points. So we're getting actually very accurate 0.007, which is probably good enough. And then we can just trim that back out if we wanted to, just to make it look nice. So let's go into surface edit, trim rather than trim convert, project in the Y direction this surface to that edge. And so we've now got, if I get rid of all the locators and we take those CVs off, you can see we've now got a triangular trimmed surface, but it's the underlying surface is actually properly four-sided, and that's the way to get around that problem of where you've got a triangular condition.